Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now.
Key Marketing specializes in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to build your brand awareness or drive leads using social media ads. If you're ready to elevate your social media, go to keyheartmarketing.com or follow us on social media. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Kee To Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Jen McKee, and today I am super excited to have our guest here, someone I met and immediately noticed her shoes, and it's because they were so fun and I could tell that they were on brand, and I appreciate anybody who intentionally is on brand whenever they're out in public. So today we have Tiffany Mitchell. Tiffany, if people are not familiar with you, please tell them who you are.
Hey, I'm Tiffany Mitchell, co-founder and owner of Half Moon Plumbing and Electric and the Tulsa, Oklahoma market.
Awesome. I'm so happy to have you here. So tell us about those shoes.
So I have several now pairs of sneaks. So people who are not here, I took them off. I can just show you. This is the original pair, the OGs.
Love them.
I always say they're like a mullet. It's party in the front, business in the back.
Right.
Mullet reversed.
Yeah.
But it's Sarah Blakely's new brand, and she's the founder and inventor of Spanx. And they're great. They're comfortable, and they're like the only heels I wear now. So I've kind of started an obsession on accident. I originally bought that pair just because they were on brand. They are match our colors, and so now I'm kind of obsessed with them.
I think that one thing that I was attracted to with those shoes is that they're a really great marketing story. Sarah Blakely has a really great story as a founder and how she got started, but the sneaks are like a juxtaposition of women wearing heels and also being comfortable. And there's something that is, they're not objectively attractive, but they're so cool. They're like the coolest shoe. And so because they're so cool, it makes them so attractive. And I just think that they're a very Ellen Rohr is someone else I know that wears them. So you guys are the only two people I know that are these are amazing. And I love Sarah Blakely and I love what this, and Ellen's I buy them because of Sarah Blakely, which I also think is a really great testament to personal branding and founder story and why it's so you can literally sell anything if you can get people to buy into you. And so that's another reason that I love them.
100. I was already following Sarah because of her story and because of Jesse Isler, who she's married to, and just his marketing genius as well. And when I found the sneaks, so it was just hand in hand. But I mean, she is a great inventor. I mean, really, I know, Dustin tells me all the time, they need to give you some kickbacks from these shoes, because I tell everybody it's not just about the look for me. They really are functional. I can wear them when we're traveling and my feet are fine. So I really do love them.
That's so fun. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Half Moon Plumbing. Tell us a little bit about how you guys got started in the business and how you really got started in the business.
Okay, yeah. So we started in 2007, 2008. We moved to a new town. Dustin had worked for his dad, who was also a plumber. When we moved up here, we started our own business. At the time, I had just recently graduated nursing school, so I was doing my own thing. And then we had a bunch of kids. And about 3 years ago, we hit that midlife where Dustin was like, we're running out some days. And so let's really try to see if we can grow the business. We had grown organically, just real slowly, but let's really see what we can do. And he asked me to come back. And so it's been about 3 years since I've been back full time into the business.
So like 3 years ago, you guys decided to intentionally
Yeah.
put some fire into the business. So just for some perspective, and you can be as forthcoming as this as you want, but like what is the difference between where you were then versus where you are now? And then we'll kind of get into how you did it. But just so that people have a baseline of where you started to where you are now.
Yeah, I think it was mindset. I mean, honestly, it was just mindset. We had really good culture. We had people here that we loved. And like I said, we had grown organically, just very slowly because we treated people well. We had a good brand. We have a really good standout brand. And so when you have those things, you just naturally grow. It was just slow, right? And so I think it was just a mind shift. Two things happened. Like I said, Dustin kind of hit that midlife where he was like, I'm running out some days. And we kind of had a list of things that, that we wanted to accomplish. And he was like, stuff in life, building a house, growing the business, just lists like that. And so he was like, let's really dig in and see if we can do this. And the other thing was that we had a lot of really good people here that we saw a lot of potential in. And we just thought if we don't grow and have positions available that they can grow into, they're going to leave.
Yeah.
And
that's so good.
Yeah. So that was another huge piece to it.
I love that. Okay. So what has been your percentage of growth over the last 3 years, year over year? Do you know? Or just like.
Yeah, a lot. So when we really started to grow, I think we were at 3 million.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit 11.2 last year.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And I think that there are a lot of businesses that, have grown organically. Like there's definitely a lot of owners that I talk to that are like, well, most of our business comes from repeat customers, which is really, really great. But you can only grow so fast when you're not focused on other things. And not only that, like repeat customers could actually cause your business to start to die, right? Because like people move, people age out, people like things change in their family life, and you will not always keep all of the people that you have. Like there's always the potential to lose them. And so the only way to continue pushing on that gas is to start doing some marketing. So when you came in, I know when I spoke with you a few weeks ago and you told me like marketing is one of your favorite things. So when you first came in, is that really where you put focus, or did you put focus in operations? Like what did that look like?
So I will say like that kind of growth, like people are really like, seem impressed, or like it is a lot of growth, but it comes with a lot of scars. Like we learned a lot fast. And so we were doing a lot of things at once. But so we set a goal. Dustin set this huge goal of hitting 10 million. We didn't know how long, it would actually take us to get there, but we just planned backwards, right? So we knew that we would need to grow the market that we were in. And so to do that, we knew we needed mass media. I mean, we knew we needed marketing. At that, we weren't really keeping track of it, but if I had to guess, we were probably 1 to 3% of marketing. Like we had a website, we had SEO, but you're not making a concerted effort to really grow the business. And so marketing dollars weren't being poured in. And so one of the first things we did was mass media. So we did a billboard buy and a radio buy.
That's a lot. So did you do that on your own? Did you reach out to outside vendors? Like you want to do it right in order to make it work, right?
Yes, absolutely. So billboards, we have a local vendor that we use, and we just reach out to them. We had connections and relationships built just over the years of doing business. And then for the radio, we actually use Wizard of Ads, and we had a really good team that did the radio buy for us and started us in the radio.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay. So with those two things, so this would have been 2023, probably around 2020.
Yeah, end of 2022. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you immediately see an increase in sales, or like what did that look like?
So one of the things, with vendors, there's pros and cons, right? With any vendor that you use. But one of the things that I love about Wizard was that they were very upfront with us. Like this is not a quick turnaround, a long game. And so obviously, like, that helped us make the decision because we knew where we wanted to be in the long game, right? Like, if you want to do 10 million, you have to increase your marketing. And so we knew. I mean, it was like 18 months, I would say, before we really saw that flywheel kind of take off.
Dang, that's a long
Yeah,
time.
you're making this huge investment without any return for a little bit. Yep.
Okay. So, okay, billboards and radio, which also I have to say is probably not where a lot of people go next. Like, but I appreciate that mindset of like, and I'm guessing it's something like, if I was at 10 million, what would I be doing? Like, what would be
Right.
a non-negotiable? And if you look at it from that perspective, that feels like
Yes.
absolutely where you should be.
Right. Yeah. It's just you have to look at, okay, what is our ultimate goal and what do we need to meet that? And it's that you have to have that base of mass media, right? That branding. And I will say, like, one of the things that we did outside the box was we had a local meteorologist that was, I would
Mm,
say, like the second most famous. I don't know if that's the way you would say that, but he
well known.
well known,
Yeah.
very well known, and he exited the TV market, quit his job, and went on his own. He had about a following of 150,000 on Facebook, and as he exited, I was already a follower. I knew him, like, not really know him, but, I knew what he stood for and his values, and I knew that he was very well loved in the community. He's a Tulsa native. And so I just, as soon as he announced the exit, I mean, he wasn't like announcing, "Hey, I'm taking sponsorships," or anything like that. I just reached out to him and said, "Hey, are you considering like taking sponsorships? Like, is that something you're going to do? Like, could we pay you basically to influence, help get our name into the Tulsa market?" He reached right back out and was like, "Absolutely. Like, let's have a meetup."
That's really cool.
And I mean, we have both just grown together. I think last time I checked, he was around 300,000 followers now.
Dang
Yeah.
it. So what does he do? What did that because I think that that's a really so a lot of people ask about influencers and working with mom influencers and things like that, you're not going to get a great return right off the bat. And I think with any influencer, it's a long-term investment and a long-term relationship because just because somebody posts about your service one time, it's not going to like drive a ton of new customers. But if you can get and so I'm kind of laying this up, but then I'm curious of what you guys did. But like if you could get an influencer to do things for you on a quarterly basis where you're coming out, they're experiencing your services. If you have multiple trades, every time you're working on a different trade, they're creating content around it every time. That is where you're going to start to get actual like return from that. So, what does this relationship look like for you guys?
So, like, working with Mike has been really, really incredible. One, like, I agree 100%. Like, it's not a lead generation marketing tactic, right?
Yeah.
It's a brand awareness is what it is.
Yeah.
And, like, if you just think about how many times that you've been exposed to something that you've bought through an influencer, I mean, it's 8 to 10 times probably before you actually purchase something.
And yeah, exactly.
And so it was just a long, like, I just knew it was for branding. But with Mike, like, it's been so great because he's been so easy to work with, and since we were the first brand on board, we've just really worked together and it's been a great relationship. One of the things that have worked really well is that he has an app. So he has his own weather app and we are the main sponsor on that. So when people
Oh,
open the
interesting.
app, we have the front, like the opening page with him on there, like that we're the sponsor of the app. And then we also have a banner when they go to look at the radar that people can click on and they can click right on that to book. So
That's cool.
yeah, it's been a really great relationship. Yep.
Does he name drop you guys ever?
All the time. So we have multiple, so we get posts, any type of post that he's making, he rotates through the sponsors. So our logo graphic is on his graphic, like, if it's a snapshot of the radar or any quirky little thing he does. And we've done giveaways, which is great because he has such a huge following. Like doing giveaways with him has worked really well. I was trying to think what else we've done.
I think this is just so good. It's really like thinking outside of the box. And I think that that's important for anybody when it comes to marketing. And then also collaboration, when you can leverage each other's audience. And like you guys were able to leverage this like very, very niche down community of your community of
Yes.
people that trusted this person. That was that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, it's worked really well because he has such a local following. So, the majority of people that are following him either live in the Tulsa surrounding areas or, they have families that are here. So,
Yeah.
either way, it's getting to local ears. Yeah.
That's so good. Okay, so we've got the influencer, we've got the billboards, we've got the radio ads. So what about getting involved in the community? Was that something that obviously the meteorologist is huge, but are there other things that you guys have done like that that have been beneficial? And then I really want to talk a little bit about like attributed ROI leads that you guys have been getting.
So, the community, like we've always been pretty active in the community, just on a personal level, maybe not so much like, blasting it on social media. But since I came back into the business, I'm really made an effort to get reconnected more. And so one of the first things that we did was join the chamber, of course. I love our local chamber. They're very involved. We support like local festivals or sponsor local festivals. And that's always really fun to do. Like the one that I love, we just actually had it is Fine Art Friday. And that's where like students paint a mural and then the businesses sponsor that. And so they either get to bring it home or give it back to the artist. And it's just really supporting the arts and the community. It's one of my favorite things.
That's cool.
Yeah. Another thing that we love to do is like we love to sponsor the little lighthouse. So we have a child with special needs and she actually it's an early development preschool for kids with special needs. And we love Little Lighthouse and what they do there. And so we get involved as much as we can with them as well. We've done like a billboard campaign with them where the students colored our logos and then we put like 18 of those on our billboards, like the digital ones. They just rotated through. And then we had people vote on them on social media and the top 3 got scholarships. So
that's awesome.
That was really fun. Another thing that we've done in the community is our Love You to the Moon and Back campaign, where we had people for Valentine's Day weekend. We run their messages on our billboards through the Valentine's weekend.
That's super cute. So that's like a play on your words. And I think a lot of times we forget to be inspired by what's already around us. And so another thing, I don't know if you guys did this, we work with Over the Moon out of Wisconsin. And so whenever the moon, like NASA was bringing those people to the moon, there was some content that we created around that specifically. So you can always like play on your brand. And so that's super cute.
Yep.
To the Moon and Back is really cute. And there's probably so many things you could do with that type of tagline and get your community involved and then put it on your social media, create mailers around it, create email blast around it, SMS blast. Like it's always great to like, instead of trying to, I don't know, fit into another box, like find inspiration from what's already working for you.
So when we rolled out the billboard campaign, one of the things that I said was like, I don't want to be like every other trade company in the area. I mean, and I don't mean to like be mean or like none of that, but like everybody puts their faces on the billboards. And I'm like, first of all, I don't have a face for that. I don't want my face up there. I want my kid's face up there. It's because it's not us that even makes Half Moon work. It's the team, right? So, I'm thinking through all this. I'm like, well, we could put team members up there, and you're thinking through like, what can we do different? And so what we ended up doing was I kind of took a play out of the Buc-ee's playbook.
Oh yeah,
and we did moon phrases. That's what we did. That's what our whole billboard campaign. That's how we rolled it out. So we took all these famous moon phrases. So the cow jumped over the moon. Love you to the moon and back. Once in a blue moon. dancing in the moonlight, like all
Yeah,
these
that's
moon
cute.
phrases, and put it up there with our logo. And the response from the community was crazy. Like, we had people messaging us like, I love that song. That song was at my wedding. Or,
That's cute.
I love the book. I say this to my kids every night. I love you to the big back. And so, yeah, it was a really good campaign. And the community really loved it.
That is so cute. I like that, and I think about Buc-ee's all the time. I'm in Texas, so we have Buc-ee's everywhere. Every time we're on a road trip somewhere, we're, like, driving towards a Buc-ee's, and if you're not and you're listening to this, I'm sure you have heard of the lore, but what is so interesting about Buc-ee's is they have billboards, and as soon as you pass a Buc-ee's, there's a billboard that's like, "Buc-ee's, 100 miles," and then there's, like, literally billboards the entire way there, and they just say stuff. They say funny things, they make jokes, they use play on words. They're just black with, like, yellow writing and the logo, like, there's nothing else on them, but they just make you, like, keep thinking of them, and they're all the way until you get to the next one, and as you're getting closer, it's like, "Don't pull over yet. You've only got 19 more miles." Like, so I think that's really fun and always a good strategy to look at for ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people try to act like, that steal their marketing ideas or, whatever. But, like, let's just be real. 2026, there are no secrets, right? And
Mhm.
everybody, and Tommy Mello is famous for saying this, right? R&D. Like, you rip off and duplicate. And
Yeah.
I mean, and so that's really it's inspirational, right? We take marketing that we see, that we love, that we're drawn to, that works, and then we implement it in our own way. And that's what's
Yeah.
great about, I think that's what makes why one reason I love marketing, right? Is just it's so creative. It's such a great outlet. And yeah, so like
I love marketing too. Stephanie just told me the other day she was at Cody Sanchez's event, and I kept messaging her about it, and she said to me, Cody used 3 words: imitate, iterate, and then innovate. And I thought that was super inspirational for just business in general. Like, you have to start with the imitate and
right,
then iterate it for yourself, and then you can start to innovate. So
that's
it
exactly right.
sounds like that's a lot of what you guys have done.
Yeah. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? Totally. Just use the wheel and make it your own.
I love that. So what are you seeing right now as being y'all's like everything that you've talked about? And I actually love this, that everything that you've talked about is brand awareness, but we're also talking about a company that grew from 3 million to 10 million in 3 years. So that I think is proof that these kind of things make a huge impact, even though you can't measure them. And that's the hardest part, is that you can't go into Service Titan and be like, oh, well, we did all these billboards and we did all these things in the community. And then we made all these changes internally and now
Yeah.
we're at 10 million. But so what is actually like the last click? What are you seeing as being y'all's biggest lead driver right now?
So this is interesting because so I will say this, like, it is hard to track mass media, right? And a lot of people will say, well, how,
Use a phone number,
yeah,
use it.
or have your CSRs ask, like, where did you see it? But we all know that most of the consumers are not going to, I mean, not that they're lying, but
They're not going to tell you their journey. Well,
right.
actually, I heard you
I
guys
saw your
here.
brand, and then I saw
Yeah.
the board, and then I heard the radio, and
Yeah.
all the things. So that's really hard to like. What actually spurred you to click and call, right?
Yeah.
And usually we all know that Google gets the credit for that. I
Yeah.
mean, we have
Right.
customers who have used us for 10 years that will still Google and click on.
And they're going to click on your paid ad.
Yes. So, Google gets all the credit, but what is the brand journey that led them there? That's really hard to track. But the one thing that you can measure within Service Titan is your average ticket. If you have great branding and you have great techs who have a process, your average ticket is going to go up. That branding is just makes people feel safe, right? Like they know you, they trust you, they know that you're right down the road. And so that average ticket is going to go up with the mass media, with the branding. So I will say, like, we are in a whole new level with leads. So I think as a creative person in general, I think I've tried to stay away from like all the like the normal stuff, because I like to think outside the box. So you're like,
But you guys are doing it. Like
right,
you are more excited about the fun and creative stuff, but
yes,
you said from the beginning you were already doing SEO, like,
right,
and that's like the basic, right?
yes,
Like your Google business profile, all of your Google things in place, like you're doing the things that you have to do, and then you're adding on the things that
right. And
make you look
with
bigger.
creative and the mass media is what gives me life,
Yeah.
right? The GMBs and the LSAs and the PPC is what like drains the life out of me. But those are things that you have to do as well. And so like right now we have just kind of like started to dive into like widening the net, right? So we know that we have weaknesses. We know that we don't do internal follow up well. So we are tightening down on that. We know
I love
we've
that.
never done mailers. Like we have, really never jumped off that either. So we're getting into that world. And also because we've added verticals, so that gives us the opportunity to
Cross promotion.
yeah, cross promotion and to get into those avenues. It makes it a little easier to kind of slide into the emails, to slide into their mailboxes. So those are all worlds that we're, dipping our toe in now, widening that net
Yeah.
to generate leads.
That's great. So I love that. So yesterday I had a webinar with Broccoli AI, and I was excited about it because I'm always excited to inspire people to find money in what they already have. And everything that you just said is like basically what you said is like we're going to go back to the leads customer list that we already have and find the money that's been left on the table. And I think that everyone can do that no matter how old or how big your company is. And it's interesting because I was also in a call yesterday about sales and closing and increasing revenue. And it was all about like just pick up the phone and call people, which we all have so much anxiety around
Right.
doing. But at the same time, and what he brought up is a couple different points. One of them being like, you're not annoying people, you're helping them. Like, how many of us all have things that we know that we want to get done, whether it's around our house, like, and if your lawn person were to call you and be like, "Hey, how are your trees looking?" And you're like, "Oh, actually, they keep rubbing the top of my roof." And they're like, "Cool, I can be there tomorrow." How much better would that make your life? And then they just made a sale. If your plumber were to follow up and be like, "Hey, is your toilet still running because we came out there a few months ago or whatever," and they're like, "Yeah, actually I never did anything about it because I just stopped thinking about it." Like there's so many how long do we live? I lived with a bathroom that I couldn't use for years because I just like didn't ever finish getting the project done. And so many
Right.
people do that. And so we can't assume that this person has bought from someone else. And if they have, ask them how it went. How was your experience? Is everything working out? Great. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. And then you're done. What is the worst that could happen? And so I think that's a great thing for you guys that this is where you're at because you have so much opportunity there.
Yeah, and it's about adding value, right? And what we say here is like the number one thing in sales is belief. Like you have to believe that you're adding value to the people you're serving, right? And that you're serving them well. That's another kind of half moonism saying that we have here. Like when the guys leave, we say serve well. That's at the core. And so you think about that. Are you serving them, the customers you already have? Are you serving them well? And if you're not following up with them, then you're not serving them well.
Mhm.
You're not giving them the opportunity, like you said, to fix things that are annoying to them, that they may
Yeah.
have forgotten, or that, they are just busy in life.
Right. I know. We all get busy. It's May. If you have kids, this is like
Yeah.
you can't even like make plans because someone's going to email you and be like, "Oh, by the way, there's something tomorrow
Yes.
at 6 p.m. Could you be there?"
Yeah.
Like, what?
Award assemblies and
Yeah,
showcases
exactly.
and all the things.
Exactly. It's almost over. Well, I think that this has been incredible. You've shared so much that could be that anybody listening could go and implement right now. So you're on the Kee To Growth podcast. And at the end of every episode, we end the episode asking everyone the same question, which is, what is the key to growth?
So I know that you asked this question. I did my homework. And so
you did homework.
I did my homework. And so I have a long answer.
Okay.
This is just our journey. I think the key to growth is strategy and intentionality. And you have to know where you're going and you have to have a plan to get there. And I think that is the basics, right? I think all the things that people have talked about on your podcast before are really important. You have to know your numbers. You have to have knowledge because you don't know what you don't know, right? Go to shops, learn, and then you have to implement. And then you fail, and then you pivot, and then you re-implement, and you fail again, and you pivot, right? But I think the key takeaway is like you have to have an intentional plan, and you have to have a strategy.
I love that. So good. You're the first person that's ever said, I think there was one other person that's like, oh, I knew you were going to ask me this question. So that's so good. Maybe people know, but no one ever tells me. So love it. Good job. So if people want to connect with you and learn more about you or about Half Moon Plumbing, where should they go?
We can go to Facebook, Half Moon Plumbing and Electric. If you want to reach out there, we're pretty good at responding, or I am, on social. And then also my email, it's Tiffany@halfmoonplumbing.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. This has been amazing.
Thank you, Jen.